Right, topic 2, we're going to start out looking at this inequality. 1 is less than 2, is less than 3, is less than 4, is less than 5. Is this true? Well, yeah. Yes, that is true. And maybe my pen will catch up. Yep, okay. Now, multiply each of those numbers by 10. So 1 times 10 is 10, 2 times 10 is 20, 3 times 10 is 30, 4 times 10 is 40, and 5 times 10 is 50. Is that still true? Well, is 10 less than 20, which is less than 30, less than 40, and less than 50? Yes, that is still true. All right, now we're going to multiply each original number by negative 10. So 1 times negative 10, 2 times negative 10, 3 times negative 10, and so on. Now, is this still true? Is negative 10 less than negative 20, less than negative 30, less than negative 40, and less than negative 50? No, that is not true. Okay, so that tells us something. If we multiply by a positive number, it's okay. But if we multiply by a negative number, not true anymore. All right. A few scribbles on there, but my pen caught up. All right. Sorry about that. So, anyways, I think you got my point on that side. Let's go to the next slide and look at what this means. All right, so what does this mean? When we do these, right there, when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you need to reverse the inequality sign, okay? And you saw that from this slide right here when we multiply by 10. That's not true. But if we changed these to negative 10 is greater than negative 20, greater than negative 30, greater than negative 40, and greater than negative 50, that would be true. Okay, so when we multiply or divide by a negative number, you need to reverse the inequality. So, this one. Again, solve as if it were an equal sign. Okay, solve as if it were an equation. So if that were negative 3b equals 21, well, negative 3 times b, we divide by negative 3. So we get b, 21 divided by negative 3 is negative 7. We divided by a negative number on both sides, so we flip that to be less than. Okay, so b is less than negative 7. That's it. Here we have y divided by negative 6 is less than 2/3. So how do we get y by itself? This is divide. Opposite of divide is to multiply. Multiply both sides by negative 6. On the left, negative 6's cancel, I have y. I divided both sides by a negative, so I need to flip that to greater than. And here, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12, 3 times 1 is 3, negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. So y is greater than negative 4. Okay, you can always test that out. If you put a number in there, give me a number that's greater than negative 4, say 0. 0 divided by negative 6 is 0. That is less than 2/3. So that works. All right, more examples. And this time we're also going to graph, just a little more practice graphing. All right, so negative 8n is greater than or equal to negative 16. Negative 8 times n, we divide both sides by negative 8. Negative 8's cancel. We divided by a negative, so I flip that. Negative 16 divided by negative 8 is 2. N is less than or equal to 2. I go to 2. It's less than or equal to, so that's closed. Less than to the left. Next one, t divided by 4. Opposite of dividing is multiply. So you multiply both sides by 4. 4 is cancel. I get t. Did I multiply both sides by a negative? No. So that stays less than. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So I have negative 8 on my number line. Add a few other numbers. Less than is open circle, and the less than ones to the left. This one, negative x divided by 7 is less than negative 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. So what's left is 7's cancel. I get negative x. I did not multiply both sides by negative, so that stays less than. Negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. But I still have a negative x. I need to make that positive, so I divide both sides by negative 1. Becomes x. I divided both sides by negative, so we flip that to greater than. Negative 14 divided by negative 1 is 14. So I have 14, put a couple other numbers on there. Greater than is open and to the right. The next one, 3/4 k is less than 15. Because I have a denominator, I'm going to get rid of that denominator by multiplying both sides by 4. 4's cancel, so I get 3k. Multiplied by a positive, so no need to switch the sign, it stays less than. 15 times 4 is 60. And then that's 3 times k. Opposite of multiplying is dividing by 3, so I get k is less than 20. Again, no need to switch the sign because I did not multiply by a negative. Less than, open circle, and to the left. Okay. Next page is a you try page. Go ahead, try those, pause the video, take a few minutes, and then start it back up again. On the next slide, so we have the verbal sentence as an inequality. This is just what we did in topic 1. Okay. Now it's talking about times. All right, so 4 times a number, that's 4x, is no more than. No more than means it has to be less than or equal to. Okay, if I say that you're no more than 10 years old, that means you're 10 or under. So less than or equal to 108. That's multiplying. Opposite is to divide. So I get x is less than or equal to 4 goes into 108 27 times. It does say to solve and graph. So on your number line we have 27. Less than or equal to is closed. Less than to the left. Next one, 1/5 of a number. So 1/5 of a number means we multiply. 1/5 times x is at most 30 means it has to be less than or equal to 30 because it can't be over that. So less than or equal to 30. We have a denominator. We get rid of that by multiplying both sides by 5. The 5's cancel. We have x is less than or equal to 30 times 5 is 150. When we graph that, 150, put whatever you want, just put 1 on either side of it. Less than or equal to is closed, and less than's to the left. Half of a number. Half of a number is at least, means it's greater than or equal to, because at least 14 means it has to be above that, so greater than or equal to 14. Get rid of a fraction by multiplying, so times both sides by 2. X, no need to flip the sign because I didn't multiply by a negative. 14 times 2 is 28. Throw that on our number line. So greater than or equal to is closed, and greater than to the right. Next, 300 is more than, so 300 is greater than 10 times a number. That's 10 times, opposite is to divide. 300 divided by 10 is 30. So we have 30 is greater than n, or if you flip that around, n is less than 30. So 30, open circle, less than 30 is to the left. Okay, so there's your verbal sentences as inequalities, inequalities themselves. A couple more you tries, and that's it for topic 2. Okay, thanks and have a good night.